Now we will see a little bit of different scenario where the distribution scenario, that is ratio, is given A ratio B, that is the ratio between the quantity A and B is A ratio B. In the previous slide we saw we are given total quantity, but here we will be given one party's quantity, that is either A or B. So let us assume the A's quantity is A. So that means ratio and one quantity is given, one party's quantity is given. Now we need to find other party's quantity and total quantity. So if we consider that ratio between A and B is 2:3. That means if A got 2, B will have 3. This is, we are considering that ratio A ratio B is 2:3. That means if A got A's quantity is 2, then B's quantity will be 3. So if A's quantity is 2, then B's quantity is 3. That means if A's, in generally, if A's quantity is small a, then B's quantity will be B. That means if A's quantity is small a, then B's quantity will be small b. So if A's quantity is 1 unit, then B's quantity will be B by A. But if A's quantity is given A amount, then it will be B by A, B division A times A. That means this is the B's quantity. When A will have A amount, B will have this amount. So B's quantity B is given as this. So if we understand a little bit close, if we see this formula a little bit closely, A division A, that means the given quantity division its corresponding ratio. The given quantity division its corresponding ratio times other quantity, that other ratio for whom we need to find the quantity. That means if A is given and its ratio is A, then A, this given quantity will be divided by A and will be multiplied by other ratio B. Say if we are given B's quantity is given, we need to find A's quantity. Then it will be A equals, B's quantity is given B, so B will be divided by B and then will be multiplied by A. Then we will get A's quantity. So if A's quantity is given, then A's quantity will be divided by its corresponding ratio and multiplied by B's quantity, B's ratio, to find B. If B is given, alternatively, then B's quantity will be divided by its corresponding ratio and will be multiplied by A's ratio to find A's quantity. So here we are considering A is given. So this is A's quantity is A and B's quantity is given by this. So now what is the total quantity? We need to find the total quantity. If A and A ratio B is the distribution, and if A got A amount, small a amount, then the total quantity will be A plus B. Because since the ratio is A ratio B, if party A got small a amount, then the B will have B amount, so the total will be A plus B. So if A got this amount, then the total amount will be this. So if A got 1 unit, then it will be A plus B division A. If A got capital A amount, so if A's total amount is this, then the total amount will be, A's amount is this, then the total amount will be this. So the total amount formula will be the given quantity division is corresponding ratio multiplied by the summation of these two ratio. That will give us the total quantity. Let us do one example. Mr. Robert and Mr. Nixon work in a project for 14 and 24 hours. So Mr. Robert, if we assume this one is an A, this one is B, then their ratio A ratio B is 14:21. That means if we simplify by 7, we will get 2:3. 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 3 is. So this is the simplified ratio for this one. Mr. Robert received, so Mr. Robert, see if we represent R as Mr. Robert's amount, so $700. We need to find Mr. Nixon's pay. N equals what? And the total quantity Q equals what? So we know that to find N, we will write like this: N equals Robert's pay, Mr. Robert is A. So this one, Robert's pay is 700. That will be divided by its corresponding ratio. Mr. Robert is first one, this one is second one. First one, second one. So his quantity, Mr. Robert's quantity will be divided by his corresponding ratio. And then it will be multiplied by Mr. Nixon's ratio. So we will get, so here we are getting 2 and 7, it will give 350. 3 times 350 will give us 1050. So Mr. Nixon will get $1050. Then the total quantity can be found by two ways. One is Mr. Robert and Mr. Nixon by summing up these two. So 700 plus 150, that is $1750. This is one way. Or we can use the formula to find it. How? The total quantity will be the given quantity, Mr. Robert 700 division Mr. Robert's corresponding ratio 2 times summation of these two, 2 plus 3, summation of this ratio and given quantity division by corresponding ratio. So it will be 2 times 3 is 5, 5 times 700 is 3500, division 2 will get $1750. So we'll get the same result. Either we can use this approach or this approach to find the total quantity.